Hello, Miss MyraVeres.
What's up, guys?
We are excellent. It's such a pleasure to be here with you today. We're in Hartford, Connecticut. You know, I was dying for this interview. You know, we were in school. We were doing a couple of interviews, and it just sparked my interest to interview you. You know, you take so many, photos of people, but you need to be under a microscope today. So we're gonna check you out today. So how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
That's excellent.
School's over, and yeah, pretty good. Pretty happy to be here.
Juice.
And let's go on with this.
Juice. Okay, now I'd like to ask you, who is MyraVeres? What is your story?
Okay, well, I was born in Ukraine, in a little town, not so little, it's more so like about the size of Hartford, maybe a little smaller. And I was raised in a place where it was right after the Soviet Union just collapsed, so my country was falling apart. And at the age of 10, my parents moved. And when I was 11 years old, I came here to the United States. When I first moved here, it was a culture shock, to say the least. Being like in 6th grade, not being able to speak the language, the people in your class already knew each other, and it's just so isolating, and I really didn't know what to do with myself. So I needed to create in order to be happy, in order to find something within me that would make me be me again, instead of just like trying to follow the little sheep that were in school that had no clue what they were doing. So it took me about 3 years until I was like 14 or 15 years old to pick up a camera and actually want to take photographs other than pictures. I've always taken pictures, but it was never serious. And then one day somebody gave me Photoshop, actually, and thank you. And that motivated me to find out what Photoshop is and what I can do with that world and who I can become through the lens. And so I started experimenting. And that's how my story started.
Juice. So what is art to you? What is art?
Self-expression. Whatever it is that you are, you, not anybody else. You means, to me, you means a lot. You means what your influences are, whether it's books or people like yourself. You means the music that you listen to. Everything that you take in, you're like a sponge. And to me, art is somehow portraying whatever you feel in that moment.
Juicy. Now, when did you decide that you wanted to be a photographer?
I'm still deciding that. I think it was decided for me almost.
Juice.
I just started taking pictures and I didn't want to stop, and obviously, like every artist, you have your downfalls and you don't want to do anything, but you can't let that get in your way. And it's just it's a journey, like finding who you are, finding what you need to do in life. It's a journey of being just true to yourself.
Juice. Now, who was the one that inspired you to get into the photography?
Which one is that?
Well, there was a man in my life who gave me the gift of Photoshop. And he, in a way, I guess he inspired me, but he didn't really inspire me by actual inspiration. He just gave me this tool and I wanted to utilize it. But somebody who... there's this one photographer who I love, her name is Brooke Shaden, and she started out at the same time that I was starting out. Except she was already educated, she's already been to college by that time, she knows what she was doing, and I was just looking at her work. And she's a photographer, but her work looks like a painting. Like, you look into that and it's like, wow, how is that a picture? And her work is what inspired me. That's why I want to be an artographer, not a photographer.
Artographer.
Artographer.
Thank you for correcting me.
Well, for now I'm still a photographer. Eventually in life I will be artographer.
Juice.
But,
Juice.
yeah.
So, who are the people that you actually watch, coming up in the business that just, keeps you going? It makes you say, wow. You said the young lady she inspired you.
Yeah.
So, is there any other people in the business that you're actually watching besides her?
There's one. I'm not really watching anybody because I believe that if you watch too much, it'll influence you a little more away from yourself.
Juice.
And you won't be who you are, you'll be who that person is.
Yeah.
But you can always get influenced. That's the word I'm looking for. And there's this one girl, I don't know her last name, but her name on Facebook is Nurmi. It's NIRRIM something or rather. And her story is really interesting. She was homeless for a long time, and she met this young man. She was a photographer, just had her camera around, and somehow met the right people, and now she's working for Billabong, and she's traveling all over the world, and she's 20 years old, 21, just had a baby about 4 months ago.
That's excellent.
And she had the baby in Mexico. 2 weeks later, she was in China.
That's excellent.
So that's just kind of like stories like that motivate me, that you can do, no matter at what age, you can do what you want.
Absolutely. Now, how can people get in contact with you for photo shoots and things of that nature?
Well, you guys can give me a call at 860 922 3675.
3675.
Or you can email me at MyraVeres,